Shouts out Big Steve.
What's up? What's up? UFC early tease, UFC Vegas 100, Magny versus Prates. Who would have thought we would have gotten to 100 UFC Apex cards? Honestly, I have a soft spot for Apex cards. When COVID started, there was no UFC. That was when I realized how really addicted I am. And I was at home, moved out of my place into a new place with my friend, just not able to work, getting money from the government, and just gambling full time. And that's when I realized that this is what I want to do. So there was a bit of a lure and excitement when Apex cards first started, and it kind of worn off a little bit. Kind of sick of it now. Really, really low level fights. But in the beginning, we had great main events. We had Poirier versus Hooker, and you could just know crowds. It was good times. Good times. Had one of my best cards ever. Made like 4,500 when my units were like 200 or 400, something like that. Hit every bet. Ended up just getting drunk on my balcony because we couldn't do anything else. We couldn't even leave the house in Australia during COVID. So good times, good times. But yeah, so here we are, UFC Apex 100. So we'll break down this card. We'll look into the card and all the regionals, hence the early tease without any tape. And we'll go over, a recap. Did I make money this week? And yes, I did. So let's get into it, shall we? Alrighty. Let's look at the comments first. Tristan, thank you, mate. Kamzat Chimaev is the best fighter in the UFC right now. You could be right, mate. You could be right. He's up there. Jono, will Prates keep his brutal strip going against gatekeeper Magny? A lot of rhetorical questions. Yes, I hope so. I hope so. I'm glad they're finally matching up Magny the way he deserves to be matched up. That's all I'll say. All right. So last week, we started off with ACA. Had like one bet on this. I actually made a mistake by taping way too much of this card the day before. I know I've been trying to focus on UFC recently, but just I felt like I had a good read of the card, and I thought, let's do some regionals. I'm feeling it. Pretty much didn't play anything. The only thing I played was my boy Nikola Dibchikov. I only played like $75 because he was a huge underdog, and I'm sick of like donating to these dogs, especially in the ACA, big ones that have like a puncher's chance. Really bad ground game. And I just thought this Murad is really not that great. He was a champion, but he's quite washed now. And he's a really small middleweight, moved up from welterweight. And Nikola knocked him out in round 2. I didn't tip it out to the Discord. I added another like $30, so it was $100 to win almost $400, almost a unit. So that's all I had. But honestly, the best thing about this card is I did a lot of tape and I passed on all my losing leans. I was going to fade Erokin because I thought he was washed. Someone hit Dushenko, and then I didn't want to play at a pick him. I was going to fade Ragimov with this Nikita guy. He dropped him, then he got armbarred, so happy about that. I was going to fade Alexei, and yeah. So I think the best thing here is I passed on all my losing leans. So 380 something there, and then because I focused so much on ACA, I really didn't get a chance to do much Cage Warriors. There was some leans I liked, and I didn't lock them in because obviously I didn't do enough tape. But that was an oversight. I probably would have done a bit better if I focused on Cage Warriors instead of ACA. But that's all right. It is what it is. Every week's going to be different. So for this card, we made 1,112. So can't complain about that. So first off, I had Jamie Lee Horth in a little stupid parlay with with Machado and Aaron. People took this seriously. I just decided to. Sometimes I do stupid parlays. I decided to do the most minus EV parlay, square parlay with Horth, Machado, and Aaron, who none of them had value, but I thought they were all going to win. So I just put them in a little stupid parlay to win like almost $700. And I was really confident, actually. Horth won. I thought, if you listen to my podcast, I said there's no way that they'll play Horth at this price. And I know a few people playing, including Dogfather. I just knew she was going to win at 29-28. And then Machado, I didn't even tape properly. And Aaron, I said I would live better, which I did. But yeah, so I lost $190 there. Missed out on Machado. Otherwise, the parlay would have hit. Extremely minus EV parlay with 2 splits and Aaron. And then I had my biggest bet on Gibson. I had like 1,500 on him, but I reduced a little bit to 1,000 to win 820. And then I live bet Chad Allen Hellinger. Can I pronounce his name? I wasted another $75. You saw in round 3, Cody Gibson was very slow and getting hit quite a bit. So, yeah, could have won a bit more there, but that's fine. 820. That was my biggest bet. The one happiest that hit. City Armfield. I said I liked Armfield, but I just couldn't do it, and you got robbed. So it is what it is. I regret not playing go the distance in Romanov, but yeah, Romanov covered. 30-27. Zalal, I had 1,500 on him. I reduced to like only win 100 and something. That's one of my regrets. I think I got a little bit of noise. Pepe played Shaw, and my boy Dog played Shaw, and you look at the tape and it looked like a competitive fight, but my gut instincts were saying that Zalal it was an aura bet. He was going to win no matter what. So that's a shame, but still won. Nothing on Jordan Henry, nothing on this, nothing on Malott, nothing on this. I had $50 on Jasmine to win by KO. A little bit annoying. Could have played the under. The under had a lot of value, but oh well. I could have just played Jasmine 2-3. Would have been great value. Oh well. Lost $50, but I did lie better. I put a unit on her, just under a unit, 450 to win 272 after round 1. I thought, she did great. A takedown is the fight. Ribeiro Machado just had that parlay. Aaron, I lie bet Aaron $200 after round 1 to win, 150 to win 200, just under half a unit. I didn't want to go anymore because she was 2-0 down, and I needed her to win the next 3 rounds, so I just left it and didn't do anything with Moreno Albazi. Didn't even tape. So 1,100 with most of my winnings coming from Gibson, JJ Live, and Zalal, and then I lost a little bit on JJKO and that stupid parlay. Now, actually, I live bet Machado. I forgot. I live bet Machado $200 and lost. I thought he won round 2 clear, and round 3 split. But oh well, shit happens. So yeah, at the moment, 378 on ACA, 1,112. We're up over. So it was a 19,274. So break-even month in October. So once again, I'm over 20,000 for like the 4th or the 5th time. I was over 25,000 like back in August, and I was on my way to 30. But here we are, just struggling around 20 with 2 months to go. But that's just the way the year's gone. It is what it is. Take it as a learning year. Take all the lessons I've learned. I've dropped my units down. It's a new thing. Maybe it's a blessing in disguise. Build up the bankroll. I'm still going to profit. I'm having fun. I'm not burnt out. I'm enjoying. So let's close it up with a bang. Close it out with a bang. And yeah, a lot of good regionals this week. What are the comments saying? FIFA Gaming, I just mentioned it, mate. It was a poke. It was like a $50 poke. And I'm sick of putting like $50 bets on my final bets that and then just lose, long shot dogs. Anyway, I'll post it in the ACA forum, mate. You have to be a no life like myself. You just have to patrol the forums for my leans, mate. Aussie Fight Fan, what's up? Last video you said you bet ACA on Bet Online. Is it available in Australia? I can't find the app for it. Aussie Fight Fan, no, it's not available in Australia. The best you can do is get a New Zealand address, or move to New Zealand, I should say. Aussie Fight Fan, Gibson looked minus 600. Yes, he did. I didn't expect him to wrestle that much, honestly. I thought he was going to be a lot more sweaty. JJ led props will be cooked from here on out. Yeah. All right, let's move on. Alrighty, so what do we got? Actually, I'm going to do the regionals. Regionals have been good first. We'll go in that order, and then we'll do UFC. So let's see what we have. What do we have for regional odds? I'm not going to do them if we don't have odds. The Cody. Wait, KSW is not this week, right? No. We've got nothing for Invicta. Some good fights there. Whatever. Emily Ducote got cut. This Julia girl is a bum. I'll look into that this time. 1FC, there's only one fight. This Anatoly versus Omar Kane. Anatoly, massive favorite. He should roll. Potentially look into that one. Casey Turner. Some good fights on this LFA. Let me have a quick look. Jacoby Jones. Lorenz. There's going to be some squash matches. Christian Natividad is good. David Jackson is good. This is the first man to beat, what's his name? Joshua Van. Some interesting fights. Kamala Kirk. out of the UFC, Edmund Dos Santos. Yeah, not the worst level LFA card. We'll see what the odds say. We'll see what the odds say, but we won't waste too much time on that. Back on this, Oktagon 63. All right. So we have odds. We have odds on Bet365. Let's have a look at that. One of my favorite promotions. One of my favorite promotions. So what do we got? We got even Butchinger versus Nafuka. You know, Butchinger is on a little downward spiral, but you know he's a bit chinny. But you know, Nafuka is a grappler. So I don't know. Maybe there's some value. Apparently, Butchinger is the underdog now, but he's always a favorite. So the bookies have caught on. But maybe this is the time to fade Nafuka. Nafuka just beat Topolage via unanimous decision, and I need to watch that fight. I haven't watched it. Rod Puchak versus Amari Diedrich. Yeah, so this Puchak guy is fighting twice. Actually, I think Diedrich. He was meant to fight Ivica Trushchek. But yeah, I think he pulled out. So Puchak versus Diedrich, I have no idea. I have to tape. Diedrich is a good kickboxer. I don't have any odds. So I only have odds of a few of these. So Kamala, Paulus, Smolkova, 2 women. So what do we got? Mate Karetz, Leandro Silva. That's a good fight. Got no odds. Rashavi versus Polakaj. This is a good fight. I think Polakaj should be the favorite. We'll see. Wait, we will have odds on we'll have odds on here, won't we? Let me just find them on fight odds. No. Oh, no, here we go. Pukac Diedrich is Pick'em. That's interesting. I might be interested in Diedrich there. Rashali Palakaj Pick'em. Interesting. Interesting. What else? What else do we have? Fodor versus Horinek. I don't know those guys. Smolkova is decent. I don't know who this other chick is. Abby fighting Zalgas Zamagulov. The GOAT. Old boy Zalgas. Zalgas is a massive favorite. Now, he's going to have some advantages, right? Physicality advantages over Abby, but it's a bit tough playing Zalgas. Is he on a losing streak? Oh, he's won 2 fights back to back. Good on him. Okay. And he had a Joshua. He's lost 3 splits back to back. Yeah, maybe Zalgas still has it. You know, he probably should be the favorite. You know, Aaron Abbey, extremely weak soy boy, typical Cage Warriors fighter. All right, Carol Skripek. I don't know who this guy is. Fighting Amanda Diedrich again. I'm not sure about these fights, man. There's so many double matchups. Roman Paulus versus Kumala, absolute bum. Paulus' favorite, but he doesn't do much, so that makes sense. And Piotr Wawriniak versus Mazuch. This is an interesting fight. Wawriniak is good. Minus 200. I think Mazuch can knock him out, but we'll see. And Sam Creasy versus Bueno Adamia. Adamia is not bad. And Creasy is chinny, so do I have this fight on Bet365? Of course I don't. Oh, well, that's the one. Main event. Sam Creasy. I bet Adamia in the last one against Croatian dude Brčić, I think his name is. Stipe Brčić, correct, and he beat him. It was a big underdog. I think he was a big underdog to Gustavo Lopez as well. He's a good fighter, way better than his 11-8 record indicates. But that's that. Good card. Can't wait to tape it when I do a little bit of UFC. All right, but here we are. UFC Magny versus Prates. For all of you that know me, you know I hate Magny. You know I hate that they give him like Phil Rowe so he can stay in the rankings. So I said they need to give him prospects back to back. So they're giving him Morales and now they're giving him Prates. Give him Jack Dale after this. Get him out of the rankings. Horrible fighter to watch. Anyway, Tresean Gotchkoli. So I've taped some of these fights already. These are not without tape, so you know you get something useful from me. And honestly, it's a dog or pass for me. But what I'm considering the most is this under. So I thought the under 1.5 was going to be maybe slight minus money, and then I saw it was under 2.5. Under 2.5. You look at their fights. Josh Friend, under 1.5. Cody Brundage knocked him out cold. Brian Battle went over, but he hurt Brian Battle a couple times. The Gilbert Urbina fight knocked him out under 1.1. up 1.5 rounds. So Trezenkov can crack. Obviously, the issue is Tricoli seems kind of durable. He made it to round 3 against Sharon Magomedov. Doesn't really get finished much. 2 decision losses and then retirement against Marcelo Barbosa. Yeah, there's obviously a lot of questions on this guy, Tricoli, but I can't play Trezenkov at minus 200. So injured, so untrustworthy. He looked to be kind of flaking. He really hated Josh Brenn's length and pressure on the feet, which Tricoli, he's huge, absolutely huge. So, but this is a shit show fight. I kind of moved on and then got myself interested in the under 2.5. So I'll have to look into that one. But yeah, obviously the unders are no bueno recently. I've pivoted for a while now because I just decided not to lose money. I'm happy to pass on winning unders than lose any more money on losing unders, if that makes any sense. Alrighty. Kutavius Ramius, Gaston Bolanos, did a bit of tape on this one, and some of the boys locked in some early Ramius. Yeah, I guess makes sense. Gaston is not that guy. He's awful. I played the chalk with my boy Marcus McGee against him, and Marcus McGee looked amazing in that fight. Barely beat Aaron Phillips. I think he's the bottom of the barrel. He's 32. He's a one-dimensional striker. He's not bad at surviving on the ground, but yeah, but Romius, I don't really like playing Romius at chalk. He's minus 200 now. You fall like an idiot on Contender Series. He's got a really good guard, really good submissions. But he's essentially a guard puller. Very physical, but yeah, never really seen him offensively wrestle and stay on top of someone, for 3 rounds. It's like wild athletic striking, and then ends up on his back and kind of hunts for subs, and he can do that for a long time. So yeah, I don't know, like he I don't like his game, over the 15 minutes. At least Gaston will strike, sprawl and brawl for 15 minutes. It's kind of technical, got a good calf kick, more process. But he's a bum, so maybe go back to the well with Romius submission. I played Phillips, Aaron Phillips against Gaston by submission, big numbers. Got close a couple of times, so yeah. Other than that, let me see what's the under here. Do we have unders? I know we do. Let me just whip it out. What do we got? My bad, boys. My boy, give me a second. Yeah, under 2.5, way too juicy. Don't really like it. Let's move on. Melissa Mullins, Claudia Segula. What a fight, ladies and gentlemen. This is why you're all here right now tuning in, because of this fight, right? I assume so. Yeah, what to say? I know this Claudia chick. She lost to Sobrek, that is a scarf hold merchant. She's in PFL, and they had a good fight back and forth. She was very young, like 20 there, 21. So I recognize her face, and she's not the worst, horrible level of competition. But, Melissa Mullins at minus 260, Jesus, no thank you. No thank you. She came in with absolute AIDS against Nora Connell. And that's the thing with these women. They're just so unpredictable. She's hittable. She's just, typical low women's MMA fight. It reminds me of Horth. Horth fighting an awful fighter in Ivana Petrovic and just going life and death. I can see this here. Could be some value on this chick. She's going to grapple. I have to go actually in depth. But it's clear dogger pass. Clear dogger pass. What's the under here? I think the under's generous too, right? Yeah, $3 for the under 2.5. Melissa, not a bad finisher. She should have finished Irina Alexeyeva. I bet the KO there because her ground and pound's good. She did finish Daria. Yeah, she's got really good ground and pound. Maybe both of these girls can ground and pound each other. Alrighty. What do we got for comments? Aussie Fight Fan, Dern's ass was Tripoli's ceiling. Look, I don't know, mate. In this day and age, I think Tricoli is his name. You threw me off there by writing Tripoli. Tricoli can win a fight in the UFC. It could very well be versus Trey Shangor, so we'll see. Jono, Gaston, another CLD, all flash, no substance for the most part. Yeah, he's just underwhelming, really underwhelming. He's not even good in Bellator, let alone UFC. Alrighty, Cody Stamen, Damon Blackshear. First thing that pops up into my mind is there's got to be some value. Damon Blackshear, not the best takedown defense. Cody can wrestle. He's got underrated power. Damon just got destroyed by Montel with one punch in 18 seconds. Not bullish on that. But yeah, he's a good fighter, very good fighter. Draw with Zalal. That's Zalal's last blemish. on his record before this massive run that he's on, the heater. And yeah, got taken down by Lacerda. Yeah, just rinsed Jose Johnson. Competitive fight with Mario Batista. Probably could have won that if it wasn't like extreme quick turnaround, like 1 week and 2 weight cuts. But yeah, I mean, the dog will pass. There's no way I would parlay Damon, even though, he's less washed and Cody's slim margins. But man, Cody almost knocked out Douglas Silva the Andrade. Tyler Lapilus was always going to be a hard fight to win. Knocked out Eddie Wineland. I never thought he could do that. I thought he had pillars in his fists, but there you go. Yeah, dog will pass. Dog will pass. I'm kind of not interested in either one at the moment. What's the under there? I mean, yeah. This has to go over, right? Damon, really hard to submit. Who knows? Alrighty, let's move on to this high-level fight. Charles Radke versus Matthew Semelsberger. Wow, who do I trust less in this fight? Yeah, this is a dogger pass for me too. Matthew Semelsberger is not really my type of fighter unless he can kill someone with 1-2 down the pipe and that's it, and you don't have to rely on him doing anything else. But Charles is chinny. I know I hammered the under 1.5 opener against Carlos Prates, and he looked to be going over until it didn't. His chin, he's been hurt multiple times. He was hurt by Mike Mathetha. He was hurt on the regionals. I think Caleb Crump hurt him. Justin Montalvo knocked him out. So he's got that issue, and Semelsberger can crack. So just for that alone, it's a dog or pass for me, right? I know Semelsberger is not to be trusted, but he took that Preston Parsons fight on short notice. He fought like an idiot. He does fight like an idiot often, but his level of competition, Morono, Matthews, Jeremiah Wells, Uroš Medic, Preston Parsons, not bad at all. He can beat some of them. He can lose to some of them. That's why dog or pass is quite obvious for me. He's got finishing upside, but Radke is good. Radke also has power, and he's got grappling, and he's got wrestling. So if he wants to go down that path, he can definitely, out-grapple Semi. But yeah, it just seems like a Fury FC or CFFC main event. So Matthew Semelsberger is plus 140 now. Come on. There's got to be some value there. There has to be some value there. And I bet Charles Radke has a big dog over Obina, and now this is kind of like some recency bias right here. So yeah, I'll look into that one. That one's got my attention. Abdul Malik versus Dushko Todorovic. Man, it's a bit sad. It's a bit sad what they're doing to Dushko. This Dushko I thought was going to the best chance when it comes to Serbian fighters that we had. Really good IQ, really good head movement power. They set him up to knock out Michel Pereira in Serbia in 2018. But yeah, getting knocked out by Puna, I'm still salty about that. Herb Dean should have never stopped that. Then they give him Gregory Rodriguez, tough out. Then they give him Obama Patolo. Then they give him Chitty, streaking Chitty, again, tough out. Then they give him Jordan Wright. Then they give him Christian Leroy Duncan. His main issue is physicality here. So I think there's a bit of value on Abdul Malik. And my boy Evan already locked him in. Evan's on a bit of a streak. And a brave man to make his first bet this week, Dushko Todorovic, coming back from a layoff and a knee injury. Against Malik. Obviously, the UFC is clearly trying to set up Malik with a KO win here. It's possible. But, man, you just watched that Malik fight versus Wes Schultz, who's awful. Awful. And, yeah, he's very green. I think if this fight gets out of round 1, it's Dushko's fight to kind of like build into and take over. He's a builder. He's a perfect man to live bet. Whereas, Wes Schultz just died. Cardio died in there. If he had 5 minutes of cardio, maybe he could have won that fight. But, yeah, Dushko, his main issue is not physical and bad wrestling. But when he gets on top, brutal ground and pound, if he can somehow get on top of this beast, yeah, I've aghast Malik, but I think he's going to be eating shit early. He's going to struggle to take this beast of a wrestler down. Hopefully he's fixed up his head movement, his low hands. But, yeah, rough fight. Honestly, I'm not into like unders these days at all. I'm trying to avoid them, but the Dushko under 1.5 rounds, $1.75. I got burnt on Malik's under in Contender Series, and that was the episode that I hit a beautiful Kavanagh and Lopez money lines, and then I lost all my profit on the under. But yeah, this one, it's calling me, but I don't think Dushko's going to get him out of there in under 1.5. Obviously, he couldn't even get Jordan Wright Beverly Hills Ninja out of there. He needs to build. He needs to get ground and pound, and his wrestling sucks. So I think it's going to be accumulation. So I can't hit it. Maybe Malik round 1, maybe Malik round 1 and 2. But under 1.5, I would just pass personally. But it had my attention for a split second. Jono, I hate Semi with a passion. You look up retard in the dictionary, and there's a picture of Semi. Correct. I bet him against Parsons, and yeah, as the week went on, I was arguing with people because I think Preston Parsons is bad, and we saw how shit he is, and just man, he stuffed so many takedowns, and he actually dropped Parsons in round 3. But it's like, why didn't you do that in round 1? Why didn't you do that in round 2? It's like, if I expected Semi to stuff that many takedowns, I would have expected a knockout. But yeah, he's stupid. Aussie, how much stock can we put into Dushko's last few losses? Everyone that beat Dushko also beats Malik. Correct. It's just the way they match up, coming back from an injury. Yeah, the physicality and the power is a big thing. If Dushko can survive, it's kind of like Puna. Puna is a bum, and he just swings overhands, and Dushko was dodging all of them. But then that one hit, and it was all over from there. So it's a dog or pass. Dushko, shit on Dushko all you want, but this man compared to Wes Schultz, Jesus, big step up. All right, Nicholas Dalby, Zaleski, Dos Santos. This fight is sick. Remember their first fight, slim margins. I think they're still doing quite well in the UFC. I don't think either of these guys are washed. I think they can do quite well. They're doing quite well in their fights. They're fighting high level of opposition, so still it's going to be competitive. I still see it as close to pick 'em. Dalby's going to have more volume, maybe more cardio. Zaleski's going to have more power. Yeah, I'm not rushing to tape this fight. I'll tape it maybe because I really want to watch their first fight. And both the guys, well, Zaleski's fun to tape, but yeah, passing, not interested right now. Pre-tape. I'm just going to Radke Semmelsberger. The under 2.5 is Pick'em. That interests me as well. But yeah, trusting Semi to knock someone out, actually finish him. Rough. All right, Luana Pinheiro, Julian Robertson. This is a bit of money came in on Robertson. I see people going out there saying, she's a parlay piece, smash spot. I said that I had that feeling against Waterson when people were all playing Waterson and the line came in. I said, if he goes up to minus 200, I'm going to hammer it. Never got there, but 30 seconds into the fight, I just live bet her big. Yeah, it's just Waterson wasn't that girl, You need to have physicality, you need to have power. And Luana Pinheiro does. So I don't think it's going to be easy for Jillian to take down Pinheiro early. Maybe if she gets a good single leg. But Pinheiro is extremely explosive. Anyone that clinches up with her, they go for a ride. They go flying. Her judo is, top notch. Even Rebus was flying. So, yeah, I don't know. This is not like one. And we've seen Jillian get knocked out a bunch in round 1, and we've seen her eat a lot of shit from Agapova. I had big money on her there against Agapova, and I'm like, that's fine. Just have to get through round 1. I was sweating, man. That round 1, she had like hematomas from the elbows and couldn't get any wrestling off. And she was dry heaving in the corner because she was like trying to wrestle so hard. Yeah, I don't know. I think people she probably wins, but I don't know. Not for me. Not for me. I'd rather just like have a finger on the live button, even though I'm in Australia and it sucks to live bet. The under 2.5 took a lot of action too. Same thing. Do we forget what happened in the Waterson fight? She's not the best finisher, Jillian Robertson. She finished Viana, who's just like awful. No get-ups. Just loves to quit. I get it. Luana has cardio issues, but we'll see. I have to dig deep some more. I don't want to be contrarian here, but could be easy money. I'll suss. Alrighty. Arena De Raider versus Gerald Meerschaert. I looked into De Raider. I like to focus on debuting fighters first when it comes to tape. Yeah, good fighter. Really good jiu-jitsu guy. I've heard about him. I've been taping 1FC. Obviously ate shit to this roided up Anatoly Malikin twice. Really hard guy to beat. He's a natural middleweight and took that. One of those losses was at heavyweight, super heavyweight. So yeah, but really, really good jiu-jitsu guy. We'll go for takedowns. We'll just maul, go to mount, throw ground and pound. Loves an arm triangle. Loves a rear naked. Yeah, I think he should be the favorite. I think Gerald Meerschaert is not hard to take down at all. Maybe he's a parlay piece. I will say Reina does slow down a bit. He's a bit older now, 34. But yeah, I mean, Gerald can be out-grappled, he's a jiu-jitsu guy, but he's lost to grapplers so many times, Andre Petrosky out-grappled him. Jotko easily out-grappled him. Dustin Stolfitz was on the way to a 30-27, gave up his back and neck in round 3. He's not a hard guy to grapple at all. But yeah, it's I don't know what to do with it. Maybe a parlay piece, I'm not sure. Rene still slows down, and he will be playing Gerald's game, So you still have to sit in his guard. But I think he's the more athletic guy. I don't think he has the greatest striking. He doesn't have the greatest striking, so I think I'm going to lie bet Gerald, if anything. And we'll go from there. Rene making his debut. Who knows? Maybe that cardio looks even worse. And when's the last time he fought? July? 6 months. What's the under here? It's set at 1.5 rounds. I think it definitely goes over 1.5 rounds. Not as good as the Petrosky GM3 1.5. I think the bookies kind of caught on. Yeah, not interested. Maybe the under 2.5 could be a play. All right. Bernardo Sopage versus Ricky Turcios. Yeah, I think Sopage should beat him. He's a beast. Turcios is an absolute pleb. Under 2.5 rounds, $2.60. Let me just get a little reminder of everyone the Turcios lost to. Rosas Jr., so that's right. I remember playing one takedown in Sub and Rosas. Natividad, barely beat Natividad. I got dropped a bunch there, that's right. Barely beat Brady, cost me some money there. I bet Brady as an underdog. It's not a good fighter. He's very scrambly. Yeah, Sopage should beat his ass. Providing he doesn't look extremely, extremely compromised, from that brutal KO. But he's got good wrestling. He's got good power. He lost to Nuzi. Nuzi outstruck him into a split back in 2021. But, man, he's 21 years of age. But, I have to say it. It's a dog or pass. I'm not really into parlaying 24-year-olds, coming off a huge KO. So if you don't finish Ricky, he will put the pace on you. He'll put the pace on you. All right. Karolina Kovacevic versus Denise Gomez. Crazy line, right? Crazy line. Denise Gomez, $1.22 for a horrible, horrible minute winner. Like, she's horrible, right? And I bet Gomez a bunch, I faded her versus Angela Hill. I regret so much not betting her against Yarigi. I told my friend, and my friend talked me out of it, and I know now whenever I ask people for opinions, that's a bad sign because I'm not confident enough, but I regret that. I bet her against Eduardo Mora. I lie bet her. She was paying like $3 something after round 1. I know her. I have a good read on her, and she's just a horrible winner, and a minute winner, and she makes mistakes. But I get it. Carolina is washed. So is it one that I'm rushing to bet? Not necessarily. I will say Carolina was eating a lot of clean overhands against Lucinda, and she was getting rocked. So Lucinda does hit hard, underrated power. She rocked Yarigi as well. So this under, big under, kind of as big as the Yarigi fight. So that's what I'm going to tackle right here. Definitely tackling that here. Maybe just go with Denise KO or inside the distance, but we'll see what that comes up to, and I'm not going to be greedy. It's probably going to be close because she's such a big favorite. Miles Jones, Cody Gambrat. So I said I have a play, just like last week, pre-tape, which was Gibson, and I have Miles Jones. I have 2 units of Miles Jones, $1.70, similar line. Didn't do much tape. I was just mulling it over. I was asking people, should I lock it in? And I was like, who cares? Just lock it in. As I said, on these early teasers, my leans have been great. Zalal and Gibson and Tisha Torres, 3 units, and Lucindo at Pick'em. So I trust the lean. I can always reduce. I always get CLV. So I think this is going to, the line's going to move a bit. All I needed to do was the Cody Gibson win. I bet him against Dan Agueda as an underdog. I regret not betting him against Vince Morales. I faded him against Castaneda. And I donated to the under in the Douglas De Silva de Andrade fight. But that fight alone, a 30-27 against Douglas, was enough for me to play it. Cody's washed, completely washed. That's not even debatable. Outskilled Trevor Jones for 2 rounds, and he got really, really negative. Almost got knocked out in round 3. Knocked out Brian Kelleher. I washed Brian Kelleher. That's now cut. coming off a neck injury, but he really hated the leg kicks, which Miles Jones will throw. Did okay against Davison. They got taken down and rear naked choked. Like, he used to have really good submission grapples, takedown defense, and really good submissions. So he's just not the same guy, you know. Yeah, his last win against Rafael Assunção, I mean, 2020, 4 years ago, KO. Rob Font schooled him. Kai France KO, and just like bums after bums. So I have to, 2 units. We'll evaluate after deep tape what we keep. But there you go. That's my one and only play so far on this card, and I like it. All right, Neil Magny, Carlos Prates. What to do on this fight? I mean, the bookies have caught on. You know, I laid the hammer against Trevin Giles. I had like almost $4,000 on him back when my units were cool. I played the under against Charles Rodgers plus money. I didn't have anything against Jing Liang Li. I parlayed him actually, but yeah, the price was crap, and yeah, it's even worse now. Not really feeling the under. I don't really see how Magny finishes him. I don't think Prates is some gas bag. Yeah, under 2.5. I'll look at some Prates KO again. Maybe Prates 1-2. He usually gets his KOs by the end of round 2 at the latest. Even against Leach, who's extremely durable. So yeah, I'll evaluate. I'll have to tape Neil because I know Neil is a weasel. We'll see exactly how much weasel ability he has here, but Prates is different, man. He's different. So that's it. Let's see if we have any comments. John, I really like the read opportunistic sub ability. Wow, that sounds like GM3. Both opportunistic. GM3 due for another disappointing loss after Edmund went full retard and gave the fight to GM3. Well, GM3 can't really disappoint as a $3.40 underdog, right? Everyone is expecting disappointment from him. So I don't know. Yeah, the rider, I think the rider is just going to sit on Gerald for a bit. But I think Gerald's improved a bit. His takedown defense has improved, and even his striking is improving at like 34, 35 years of age. So I have to dig some more into that fight. But it's interesting. Sad to say, Cody is a front runner and a quitter. When things go south, correct. I mean, Miles Jones is not going to push the pace, but the man is an elite minute winner for someone that's supposedly low volume. And he's an elite weasel. He loves getting 30-27s. So only thing I'm worried about is Cody's speed. But we'll see. And maybe Miles Jones' chin. But that's it. That's all we have. I have 2 units on Miles Jones. Other than that, what sticks out? The Tricoli under 2.5, and maybe Tricoli as a dog. We'll see. Romeus, nothing really. Maybe Romeus sub. Mullins fight, clear dog or pass. See if I'm interested. Stamen fight, clear dog or pass, but I really kind of feel like I'm not going to be interested because Stamen's the worst. Semmelsberger, Radke, dog or pass. I mean, kind of tempted the more I'm talking about it. Dushko, Malik, another clear dog or pass. I might have to live bet Dushko. We'll see how he looks during the week. He always has some injuries. Dalby, Zaleski seems accurate. Pinero, Robertson, I'm just going to live bet it. I'm not interested. I think Robertson's going to have some issues with Pinero early. Misha, Dorada, yeah, it should be Dorada's fight to win. We'll see. Do some more tape. Supaj, Tercios, I mean, I guess it's a dog or pass. Live bet Tercios maybe, but Supaj is really good. Denise Gomez, I'm looking at this under. I think she's live to kill Carolina. And Cody, I've got Miles Jones and Prates. It's got to be the unders, right? It's got to be the unders. What's the under? I think the under is plus money in the Miles Jones fight, but I already got tempted. I already got baited in against Douglas Silva, the Andrade, and Miles Jones. That's the first time I thought these gloves are broken because they were just landing haymakers on each other. And Douglas Silva, the Andrade, hurt by Stamen and hurt by that Uzbekistani dude, and has the weirdest chin. It's just eating overhands from Miles Jones was crazy. Not even flinching. But that's it. One bet. A lot of tape to be done. A lot of regionals, Oktagon, LFA. Maybe one if I have time. I'm going to a birthday on the weekend, so I'm going to have to get my tape out of the way nice and early. But other than that, thanks for listening. Jump in the Discord, jump on Twitter, jump on Sherdog, ask me. And yeah, good luck on your bets. Peace out.